sanitation systems, they all need help. Let's have a big push, a bonding effort that would, like World War II, where people gave to World War II bonds. Let citizens invest in making sure that our cities don't crumble, that our counties can operate, that our states stay, because that's part of our economic competitiveness. So you see, there is a lot of work to be done here at home, and of course around the world. We have to restore American leadership and our moral authority, and that begins by ending the war in Iraq. Starting within 60 days, have a plan to begin responsibly and safely withdrawing our young men and women. And I believe that at the same time, we have to make clear to the Iraqis that they have been given the greatest gift that a human being can give another human being, the gift of freedom.
That's right.
And it is up to them to decide how they will use that precious gift that has been paid for with the blood and sacrifice and treasure of the United States of America. And it is time for the Iraqis to demonstrate that they understand there is no military solution. American troops cannot stay there, contrary to my friend John McCain suggesting they'd be there for 50 to 100 years. No, they're going to start coming home if I am president within 60 days, and they will keep coming home, because that is the right solution for what we need to do. And then, when we bring them home, we have to take care of them. The last years is seeing how insensitive the Bush administration has been to our young men and women in uniform and our older men and women in uniform. Last time I was in Iraq a year ago, I saw a lot of people who were my age who had been called up, National Guard and reserves, in their 50s and 60s. Because we have been deploying over and over and over again. Our active duty, our guard and reserve. Now these young men and women, and the older ones as well, do their service to our country, but they deserve our best efforts. It was outrageous. We had to fight to get them the body armor they needed, the armored vehicles they needed. Just in the last few months, I joined up with Congressman Altmaier to remedy an injustice that came to his attention through one of his constituents. I was outraged when I learned that the Pentagon was trying to take away the signing bonuses from wounded soldiers. Congressman Altmaier in the House led the effort. I joined up with Senator Casey and a Republican senator, Senator Sessions, to change the law in the Senate, because I knew that it is against American values for us to go to the bedside of someone who has been wounded in service to our country and say, give back the money we gave you when you joined. Unbelievable. I have worked for 15 years now on behalf of our veterans, and as your president, I would make taking care of our veterans the highest national priority, because I don't think there is anything more important. Because when someone says they will serve our country should serve them. And therefore, we need to fully fund the VA. We need to take care of all of the different injuries, the visible and the invisible. Some months ago I was at Walter Reed visiting wounded soldiers from New York. There was a young Army captain I met there. And he'd been in a convoy that was attacked in Baghdad. And he lost his right arm and he lost his ring finger on his left hand because his wedding ring had melted into his finger. And I said, "Captain, how you doing?" He said, "You know, I'm making progress. I'm learning how to use the prosthesis and the people here are really helping me." And then he stopped and he looked at me and he said, "But where do I go to get my brain back?" Because the signature injury of this war is called traumatic brain injury. Thousands of our young veterans are suffering from it. They may not have a single visible injury, but what has happened is that because the force of these explosions that can come out of anywhere at any time, their brain has been shaken. It's like shaken baby syndrome. Only it's an adult, and the force has been so great, they are disoriented, they're depressed, they're anxious. This young soldier said to me, "You know, man, I went to West Point. Nobody ever had to take care of me before." He said, "Now every morning my wife has to give me a list about where I go and what I'm supposed to do so I can remember." Well, we will not forget, will we? We're going to take care of them. Reform the government, and that means taking on the special interests. It means standing up against the no-bid contracts. I would like to eliminate, except in rare circumstances, no-bid contracts, because they have gone to the Halliburtons of the world. They are unaccountable. The money has been wasted, and we should stop it. We have to end the cronyism. I want to get back to an old-fashioned idea. How about appointing qualified people for the jobs we asked them to hold? And there's about $55 billion in tax breaks that have gone to oil companies and insurance companies and drug companies and Wall Street. We want to get those back and give them back to you. Put them back to work for the middle class and working families in America again. So I'm excited about what we can do together. And you know, all through this campaign, I've been very specific about what I would do if I were given the great honor to be the president of our country. Because I want you to know what I will do, because I want you to hold me accountable. I don't want you to wonder. I don't want you to make a leap of faith. I don't want to have you ask yourself, well, what exactly will happen? I want you to know, here is what I will do. Here's how I will try to get it done. Here's what I expect you to ask of me. Because we need to rebuild that relationship between our president and our people. And I think the best way for you to think about this is, who would you hire for this job?